University of St. Louis transitions to the new normal swiftly.
Administrators and teachers ensure quality content despite COVID-19.
Students handle classes with discipline and support.
Teachers seen through the lens of innovation and creativity.
Commission on Higher Education nods USL's 3 research project proposals under RecPe.
Airing live from USL News Centrum Tungigaraw, this is Louisian Online Today, bringing you news that matters.
One voice,
Your choice. We bring you essential Louisian information on time and in time. Good morning, University of St. Louis.
Good morning, Philippines. We are your partners for the service, Sander Sedano
And Natalie Ramirez. You are tuned into
Louisian Online Today, bringing you news that matters. For the details. The University of St. Louis responded to the challenges brought about by the pandemic. How did the university cope up with the big shift? Here's a report from Brian Madela.
In spite of many efforts, the academe continues to face many challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Knowing that an enhanced community quarantine will be implemented, the administration of the University of St. Louis stood firmly and took careful actions to face the new normal. For security and preparation, they immediately conducted an academic council meeting which led them to a decision to reduce the days of reporting of faculty in the university. The work from home scheme with 2 days of reporting is applied, ensuring that the faculty can still be monitored.
Brian, what is the most difficult challenge hurdled by the university during this pandemic?
Sander, during an interview with Vice President Pataguan, he mentioned that the most difficult challenge is the shift itself. What made it more difficult is the short span of time to plan and implement plans for the new normal.
The most difficult challenge in the new normal is adjusting from the traditional to the modern way of doing things. And I'm referring to the online modality in which we are all required to have as a higher education institution. This is in particular looking into the value system of our professors. Well, adapting to the new normal in so short a time was really indeed the challenge, because from the usual that they've been used to face, eventually they're asked to use technology and use a new system like a learning management system for that matter.
On the flip side of the preparation, the Vice President for Academics, Dr. Emmanuel James Pataguan, spearheaded the conduct of 4 parent webinar sessions last July 17, 18, and 25 with the theme Understanding the Role of Parents in the Education of Their Children in the New Normal. This aimed to assist the parents and students in their choice of flexible learning modality. He added that the utilization of the NEO learning management system for 3 years now helped the faculty and students a lot in their adjustment for the new normal. If ECQ will still take its effect in the future, USL will still continue with its flexible teaching and learning modalities. If COVID-19 cases will decrease next year, there is a possibility for students to report for laboratory works and some other educational scheme that could not be executed in their homes. However, the university will follow protocols prescribed by the government through its Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases. For Louisian Online Today, Brian Madela, bringing you news that matters.
Ensuring quality content has been the core of USL's educational preparation in the midst of the pandemic. Grounding the work in the context of COVID-19, teachers collaboratively and deliberately prepared contents that were adaptive to the new setting of learning. Let's hear the story from Chariza Zalun. Chariza?
The COVID-19 pandemic has greatly disrupted the education system, changing what classrooms and learning look like on a day-to-day basis. The University of St. Louis maintains its promise to deliver quality education through a series of preparations and continuous quality improvement on teaching and learning materials even during uncertain times. In writing modules, teachers make sure that the lessons they prepare are according to the syllabus and that the learning competencies are met through the different learning tasks given. They also use multiple learning tools to back up the contents provided. Grammarly and flag scan are also utilized to a certain originality and accuracy.
I teach professional education courses for teacher education students, and one of the things that we do to ensure quality of our lessons for online class is to use varied sources for our topics. We also use technology tools like EBSCO, Grammarly, and FlagScan. And for students to relate to what we are presenting to them, we cite examples based on how we experience them in our teaching career.
Furthermore, all modules and learning contents undergo series of proofreading and evaluation by area coordinators or program chairs and principals or academic deans. These will be further checked and approved by the Office of the Vice President for Academics.
We, the coordinators, really see to it that all essential elements like motivation, high-order thinking skills questions, and detailed content are evident in the module and online contents.
Institutions under the Commission on Higher Education and the Department of Education were encouraged to develop a learning continuity plan, which I believe the university have also prepared in this learning community plan. It has indicated that USL will be using Neo-LMS for the synchronous and asynchronous learning and teaching process, and will be developing modules to be distributed to learners whose internet are not available. From this, we can make sure that by implementing the learning continuity plan developed by USL, quality of education will be achieved.
Chariza, what specific preparations have also been made for full online and blended learners?
Natalie, the creativity and innovativeness of teachers are tested as they prepare the variety of teaching and learning resources for their full online and blended learners. Some of these resources are in the form of video tutorials, PowerPoint presentations, and gamification, where learners have a friendly competition in accomplishing their learning tasks. With the many challenges and uncertainties this school year, one thing is certain: professional learning opportunities are provided to continue the vital work of preparing the teachers and leaders whom our students need in order to provide quality education even in this trying time. For Louisian Online Today, Chariza Zalun, bringing you news that matters.
Students handle classes with discipline and support.
Teachers seen through the lens of innovation and creativity.
Commission on Higher Education nods USL's 3 research project proposals under RECPE. We will be back after this short break.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, technologies become more important than ever, especially video conferencing. Teachers conduct video conferencing in order to enhance the teaching and learning process. For a conducive and effective teaching and learning process, here are some few things which you have to remember before, during, and after a teleconference.
Be on time. Be there 15 minutes before the teleconference and make sure that your gadgets and connections work well.
Use your full name as your account name. This is to easily facilitate the checking of attendance.
Mute your microphones if you're not asked to speak or recite.
Respect your teacher by listening attentively. Pay attention to your teacher while he or she is explaining.
If you have any questions or clarification, use the chat box for a teacher to note it. Don't forget to be courteous when asking question or clarification.
Make sure to be in your proper disposition. This includes wear appropriate or decent attire during the session.
Stay focused and avoid multitasking. Remember that your teacher is exerting an effort to teach online. If you have other tasks to do, set another schedule.
Prepare writing materials to take note of the important points in the lesson.
Do not leave the session without asking for permission. Inform your teacher if you intend to attend your necessities.
And lastly, don't forget to thank your teacher for conducting the lesson.
So those are the things which you have to remember in a teleconference session. Happy learning!
And we're back for the details. Pressure brought about by deadlines is indeed overwhelming. Not only teachers but also students face challenges in the new normal. How do most Louisian students respond to these challenges? Let's find out as our student correspondent Serene Pearl Kilang tells the story.
I immediately chose full online through LMS or Learning Management System. LMS is easy to use and student-friendly. I made the best decision.
Students nowadays are no longer confined in the four walls of the classroom, but are now shifted to their four-sided gadgets and modules as education shifts to online classes due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. For this school year, University of St. Louis faces the challenge of the new normal by serving quality education using four modalities, namely printed and e-copy modules, blended learning, and full online modality. Pressures brought about by deadlines are indeed overwhelming, but no pressure is too big for Louisian. To battle this pandemic, students deal with the pressure and difficulties of online classes in different ways. According to most Louisians, one effective strategy during online classes is strict time management as they make timetables and schedules of taking down notes, reviewing, and making performance tasks. For others, staying in a quiet place or listening to music is an effective study habit. Learning with the help of a study buddy is also recommended for students who are not used to studying alone.
Tapos na ba kayo magbasa?
Opo.
May natutunan ba?
Opo.
Okay. Magtatanong ako ngayon. Jana, ano ang buong pangalan ni Dr. Jose Rizal?
Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realanda.
Considering the protocols during this pandemic, study buddies can be their relatives or close acquaintances in the same vicinity. They added that this also brings families closer in a meaningful way. Students also emphasize the inspiration they get from their parents during these extraordinary times. According to some parents, they monitor their child's learning tasks and make sure to provide a conducive learning environment. Teachers also take a big part of students' coping strategies. Some students mention that teachers' encouragement and reassurance motivate them to study better and reduce their anxiety regarding their assessments. Students also added the importance of taking care of one's physical, mental, and spiritual health. For Louisian Online Today, this is your student correspondent, Serene Pearl Kilang, bringing you news that matters.
Psychologists claim that a typical student's attention span is just about 10 to 15 minutes long. This can still be shortened during online class discussions. Louisian teachers bring more excitement to their classes through different gimmicks to ensure increased student engagement. Here's the report.
Administrators and teachers in the new normal think of many ways to continue education despite the threat of COVID-19. During this time, teachers must prove that they are not just content masters but also pedagogy gurus, enabling students to learn away from the physical classroom. Keeping learners engaged can be a difficult task for any teacher during this pandemic. In response to this dilemma, teachers of the University of St. Louis employ different online strategies or gimmicks in selling knowledge and making the learning process more exciting and engaging, taking into account the different learning styles of their students. Ma'am Lovely Ruiz finds it effective making teasers to bring out the curiosity of learners in the future topic she is to discuss in her literature class.
Born from the stars, destined to nurture life. In her hands lie the future of humanity.
Raised with anger, blinded with greed and jealousy, she will bring destruction and suffering.
Who will be victorious?
Who will continue the reign?
Find out next week in our literature class. Sir Romnick Magusib's entertaining board series also went trending as he tried to bring knowledge and humor in his online classes in mathematics.
The inverse second of x is equal to inverse cosine of 1 over x.
Ma'am Lourdes Batak and Ma'am Mia Nang forgot all their shyness and brought out the fun and excitement in their classes through songs and dances, imagining that their pupils are right just in front of them.
Hello, hello, what's your name? Hello, hello, what's
Wow, very good, great one. I like that. Follow teacher Mia, then relax. Again, then put your heart. I know you love science. That's why.
The university uses Neo LMS as its official online teaching and learning platform. This platform has many special features which help teachers keep learners' interest. One of this is gamification, wherein students can earn badges, points, and certificates from completing lessons and learning tasks, and acing assessments shown in the leaderboard. To enrich learning, teachers also schedule live classes via Zoom or Google Meet. Additionally, the 21st Century Laboratory has been put up to cater to the needs of teachers in recording contents for their classes, allowing students to view them anywhere and anytime once they are uploaded. For students under printed module and e-copy module modalities, a well-checked conversational and comprehensive module with appropriate learning contents and tasks are utilized. The modules contain appropriate features like images, trivia, and anecdotes related to the topic to maintain learners' attention. Indeed, USL teachers never stop innovating strategies amidst this pandemic. They believe that learning is continuous and that it never stops. They keep themselves abreast with the current trends to help their students yearn for learning. For Louisian Online Today, this is Sander Sedano, bringing you news that matters. Commission on Higher Education nods USL's 3 research project proposals under RECPE.
Louisian Online Today will be back. Stay tuned.
OMG, it's already 10 a.m. We have a synchronous quiz today. OMG, I lost my connection. What should I do?
Do you experience sudden loss of connection during your online quiz? Do you have concerns or questions with regard to your lessons? Or are there things you would like to refer to your teacher? With the advent of social media in the 21st century, not only we are learning the latest news updates, but we are also using them as an effective way to communicate and inform our teachers when we encounter any of the mentioned scenarios. So here are some friendly reminders which you have to remember when you send a message to your teacher.
First, start with a proper greeting. Greeting your teacher is a sign of respect. Address your teacher as ma'am, sir, or teacher. Do not talk to them casually, like starting with a conversation with ma'am, sir, I failed to take the quiz.
Second, introduce yourself by stating your name, section, and your subject. Take note that you are not only the student of your teacher. Your teacher is handling 5 to 9 sections with more than 40 students. He or she may not recognize you, especially if you are using different name in your social media account.
Third, you have to state the purpose of your message. It is important to be straightforward when you message your teacher. You don't have to ask other questions like, how are you, ma'am or sir? You have to be specific because your teachers have other concerns too. You may use the following introductory lines like, may I request if? I would like to inform you that. Or you can use, I was informed by my classmates that.
Fourth, be professional. Use formal language and make sure to observe proper capitalization and correct punctuation. Take note that writing in all caps lock is like yelling.
And lastly, end the conversation with a gratitude like saying thank you. Do not leave your teacher on scene when he or she attended or responded to your concern.
If you practice these basic etiquettes, there will be a successful communication between you and your teacher. Again, don't forget to be respectful and responsible.
In line with CHED's call for proposals for the continuing professional education grants under the K-12 Transition Program, 3 research project proposals of the University of St. Louis have been approved for funding. Mika Talay reports.
The Commission on Higher Education approved the University of St. Louis' 3 research project proposals in light for subsidizing the institution's K-12 continuing professional educational grants under its revised and expanded Continuing Professional Education or RECPE grants. The first approved project proposal is the Research Capacity Building for Academic Workforce Towards GRASP, or Generation of Research for Advancement, Sustainability, and Productivity of Higher Education Institutions, spearheaded by Dr. Marijin Mendezabal, the Director of USL's University Research and Development Center. Second is enriching research quality in higher education institutions through journal accreditation, led by Dr. Darren John Tindoen, Head of the Center for Social Innovation, Local Knowledge, and Educational Research. The third project proposal is the Project HEART, or Higher Education Assistance for Resources Development in Teaching in a Flexible Learning Environment, piloted by Dr. Pyrin T. Kilang, the Dean of School of Graduate Studies and Continuing Professional Development.
These projects are focused on capacity building and materials development. 2 of these projects are aimed at improving the productivity and research quality in HEIs. The other one is focused on the holistic development of faculty members for the flexible learning environment. It aims to strengthen the skills and capabilities of higher education faculty to teach in a flexible learning environment. So a series of training and workshops will be conducted to address the capacity needs of the participants. It will be delivered in an online platform via webinar. The participants of the training workshop will be faculty members or researchers from the identified HEIs in Northern Luzon.
Anchored to one of its core values, which is social awareness and involvement, these project proposals are designed for the University of St. Louis to become a big brother for other institutions, helping them in their difficulties during this pandemic. For Louisian Online Today, Mika Talay, bringing you news that matters.
You have just heard the latest information in the university. We have been your news partners, Sander Sedano
and Natalie Ramirez. Keep tuned to the next episode of
Louisian Online Today, bringing you news that matters.
Burst forth, USL, with you we soar. To our competence, we aim with you, with our faith, hope, and profession. Our life, our country transform. Our gratitude to you, OUSL, for sapientia edificat, devotion to mission. Each day you are reborn.